What's up, everybody? Marty Martin here. This is the Geek Nick Podcast. I am your host. Okay, so I know it's been a while since I done an episode, um, but this caught my attention quickly, and I don't know how I feel about this. So, for those of you that don't know, it's just been announced that a Michael Jackson biopic is actually in the works. Yep, it's confirmed. It's already set and ready to go. And Rolling Stone, it says right here, Bohemian Rhapsody producer lands authorized Michael Jackson biopic. Let's go over this right here. It says right here, the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody has reached a deal with Michael Jackson's estate to make an authorized biopic about the late king of pop. Deadline first reported that producer Graham King's GK Films would produce the Queen biopic and also has a Bee Gees film in the works, secured the rights to Jackson's life story as well as the use of his music. A representative for GK Films confirmed the acquisition to Rolling Stone. A rep for the Jackson estate declined to comment. According to Deadline, Oscar-nominated screenwriter John Logan, who previously worked with King on another biopic, Martin Scorsese's The Aviator, will pen the Jackson biopic script with the film, like Bohemian Rhapsody, not shying away from the more controversial moments of Jackson's life and career. No movie studio has aligned with the Jackson biopic yet, with no casting. No movie studio has aligned with the Jackson biopic yet, and no casting decisions have been made. The biopic marks the first authorized film about Jackson, whose life has been the focus of numerous critically panned television movies, most recently Lifetime Searching for Neverland in 2017. Jackson's alleged sexual abuse of two young boys was examined in the recent HBO documentary Leaving Neverland mockumentary. Yes, there there have been some bad Michael Jackson biopic movies that were made for television. One, The Man in the Mirror, starring Flex Alexander, I think that was his name, and Searching for Neverland, which starred uh, Navi, the Michael Jackson impersonator. Both of both of them were embarrassingly bad, but nothing was worse than Man in the Mirror. That was just ridiculous. Alexander looked nothing like Michael Jackson. His nose was wide when he was the older version of MJ. They put powder on his face to make his skin lighter. It looked like they literally put baby powder all over his face. And they made him look like a retard. It it was just like he had Down syndrome or something. It was just insane. Oh boy. So it says right here, news of the authorized Jackson biopic comes one day after Ain't Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations actor and original Hamilton cast member Ephraim Sykes will portray the King of Pop in the similarly authorized MJ the musical set to open on Broadway in 2020. Oh, okay. Goodness gracious. They said that was who they chose to play as him. Yeah, and the MJ musical, I have mixed feelings about that, especially since the director, the lady who's creating this, believes that Michael Jackson's guilty. And whenever someone has a negative view on Michael Jackson, uh, there's a high possibility that it's going to be viewed from a negative point of view. So, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's what it says right here. So, I've been thinking about it. I was immediately my reaction was no, no, no to the hell no. No way. Like, but then the Michael Jackson estate is involved. So they'll the estate is most likely probably going to make sure that they do portray Michael in a positive way. And then also John Logan, who was the screenwriter of Martin Scorsese's movie The Aviator, which I think it's my favorite Martin Scorsese movie, and it's my favorite biopic film of all time. Leonardo DiCaprio killed it as when he played as Howard Hughes. Oh, it was so good. The Aviator is better than Ray, Walk the Line, and Bohemian Rhapsody combined. My opinion, it's very well done. But and then Graham King, who was the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody, which I loved very much, is directing it. But it's just that Michael Jackson's life is so grand, it's so big, a big timeline. How are you gonna put all of that in one movie? From him being a child in like late 60s and early 70s till his death in 2009. Like that's time like 40 years. That's a big gap. I mean, that's a big time period. How are you going to cover all of that? And I don't know. I feel like they're just milking biopic movies, musical biopic movies. Because first, Straight Outta Compton uh, came out and did very well. Um, it was critically acclaimed by a lot of people, and then Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and then that's when it almost made $1 billion in the box office, and the music became way more popular, and the song Bohemian Rhapsody got over 1 billion uh, listeners on Spotify. It's insane. So, so they saw the success of Bohemian Rhapsody, so they said, "Oh, we're gonna do an Elton John one. We'll do a movie called Rocket Man, which is this one's a musical." So they did that with Elton John. Then they announced that they're gonna do a David Bowie musical biopic. And then they said, "Oh, we're gonna do a Michael Jackson um, musical." Oh, and then we're gonna do a Bee Gees movie. And now they're gonna do a Michael Jackson biopic. So this is just becoming ridiculous now. Like, wow. Just because a couple of movies were very successful in the box office, that doesn't mean that these movies are gonna be good. You know, I just hate it when Hollywood starts milking things for the sake of profit. And I know, of course, it's all about the money. Of course, you all gotta make a living. You gotta stay on top, but I don't know. It's just, I think it's also too soon to make a movie about someone like Michael's been dead for 10 years. Um, Freddie Mercury has been dead for what 28 years now. 28 years, and they did a movie 27 years later, after 27 years after his death. So that makes sense. Like, oh, it's a good amount of time. Like, you know, they'll do a movie about him, but usually when they do a movie about like a celebrity or a famous person, you know, it's decades later, you know, after they have died. Like, look at Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes died in the 70s, and a movie about him was not made till 2004. So, and then Johnny Cash's career, not about his life, but his career, was made in 2005, I believe. And his career started in the 1950s, and the movie takes place in the 1950s and 60s. So that's decades later of covering his career. But it's only been 10 years since Michael has died. And it's like, really? But then again, this is by um, I mean, Graham King, I was very impressed with Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, and Rami Malek was phenomenal, which I think is his greatest performance ever, even better than Mr. Robot. Um, it's just, I mean, I think that's the best musical biopic, in my opinion, Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, that biopic was pretty epic. It was pretty cool. And again, you have John Logan doing the script for this Michael Jackson biopic, and John Logan is definitely one of the greatest screenwriters of all time, and it's definitely evident in The Aviator.
Senator, your story is a pack of lies, and I can tear it apart if allowed to cross-examine.
We're not going to have this bickering back and
Somewhere
forth.
between 2 and 500, if you'll just let me
Now,
get
if you
started.
believe that...
Now, this entire bill was written by Pan Am executives and designed to give that airline a monopoly on international travel. And you've been flogging this bill all around the world on their behalf, have you not?
I mean, The Aviator was an excellent film, so if you have these two people involved, then it might be good. It might be. It's probably a big chance it'll be very well done and have a very good story. I mean, if you had John Logan doing it, then wow, that's great. But yeah, we'll just see. And as long as the estate is involved, I feel more comfortable now. I feel more relieved. But this is probably gonna have to grow on me for me to feel fully comfortable and maybe even happy about it. I mean, at least hopefully this will bring back more positivity about Jackson than like from the past almost a year now because of this mockumentary Leaving Neverland. So hopefully this movie will make everybody forget about it. So, yeah. I'll talk more tomorrow about the video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I know I haven't talked much about it, but I will cover it. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Alright, everybody. Live long and prosper. And may the Force be with you.